So it's been a minute since I did one of these videos. I just got a little bit inspired, and you probably saw on my Facebook post. But Mob Psycho 100 is one of my favorite animes of all time. And I'm going to geek out about it for 10-ish minutes. Anyway, so Mob is a super powered psychic telekinetic person who can move objects with his mind, among various other things. Um, and Mobs, and this is established very early in the early anime, so no spoilers really, and manga. Mob likes this girl. He's in middle school in Japan, and he's uh, has I think he's a twin brother, I want to say. Um, and his twin brother is very competent and very cool, and like everyone likes him. And Mob's just kind of an awkward young teenager who really just wants this one girl who he has a crush on to like him. um, and you see in the anime, this girl's like, I like guys with big muscles. And so Mom's like, huh. And so he goes and joins the muscle building club in his school, and they work him to death. And he's an overpowered psychic person, so he doesn't use his muscles very often. He both he kind of uses his psychic powers to not necessarily to compensate for his everyday life. He just wants to be, for the most part, just another teenager, and deal with teenager issues. But he uses his psychic powers to, I would say, like, enhance his physical abilities. So really, his endurance is crap. His ability to lift weights even more so, and things like that. And so he joins the muscle building club, and instead of like demeaning him and stuff, and everything, um, they do everything they can to build him up, and greatly support his achievements, meager as they are. That is something I love about that anime. And there's other really touching moments and stuff. Uh, I won't. I'm trying very hard not to reveal things, but there's like extremely heartwarming moments, and you're just like, oh, that just happened, and stuff. It's really hard to get through. And then on top of all that, there's great music, great character development, and then great story, and um, like amazing fight scenes. Like if you watch the openings to both of the seasons that are out currently, they're homages to animation, as it has started, or from like very beginning stuff to current day things. They're just like little homages to how animation got to where it is now and things, and paying homage to the craft, if you will, and then film overall. It's a very good show. It's hard to get, or for my geeky nerd heart, it's hard to get much better than that. My other or my number one favorite anime is only part one of another anime, and maybe I'll talk about that another time. But to get back more into Mob, um, he's or the reason why they call it Mob Psycho 100 is because he's a teenager, and he has emotions and things, and he does not know how to deal with them. And when and then you put that into package with teenager with hormones and whatnot, and then super psychic powers, drastically OP super psychic powers that are fueled by his emotions and whatnot. He goes super crazy, or I don't. He doesn't go crazy in like the vindictive way or things to that effect. But he gets to the point where his just emotions overwhelm him, and his psychic powers basically go off. And there are several places in the series where he either loses consciousness or just gets overrun with anger or sadness or things to that effect, and you see how those things play out in the world and how they can affect things. Uh, but again, it's a heartwarming story. It's not a, I would say, very heavy story. I tend to a middling level of liking heavier stories, but with like touching moments, and stuff. And that's generally the type of animes that I go for, and stories overall. I tend to go for. So Marvel right up my alley, where you have really heavy things, but somehow through cunning and witticism or just plucky attitude, they win the day. That's the kind of stories I like. Whatever have you. Keeping a positive outlook on things. But that being said, it is my day off. Had a very good drill weekend, like I said before, and you might have seen in videos before. Our first drill back was Yellow Ribbon. Yellow Ribbon! The event itself and the things that they offered would be very helpful. Would be very helpful. I mean, there were some things that I actually paid attention to because I have not done a VA claim. I got injured in a couple of ways while on deployment, and I haven't done a VA claim, and I probably should do that. Especially with my shoulder. It's not at the point where it's hindering me in doing things, but I hurt it a little bit doing a rock march. Irony. Hurting my shoulder during a rock march and not any of my lower body. So they walked us through like, hey, this is how you do VA claim and how you talk to people or who you need to talk to and all that fun stuff, which is helpful. But moreover, it was just nice to see everybody and hang out for a bit. Had a decent time. And then yesterday was change of command ceremony, saying goodbye to our battalion commander. And we're getting another battalion commander. And these things happen every now and again. It was funny, I was thinking about it before, but then one of the people while we were just waiting for the ceremony to start, one of the persons was standing next to me, and he was like, "Sir, how many of these have you done?" And I was like, at the BC level, this is my third change of command in this battalion. Standing in the same spot. We were, same exact spot we were, and the weather was very rainy and wet yesterday, so we sucked it up. That's what you do sometimes in the army. You just you suck it up and deal with it, and then you have a nice story to say after. Like, I stood in the rain for 2 hours while we talked about one person and then talked about another person, and then before that just stood in the rain while waiting for it to start and everything. It was not a bad ceremony. I definitely, as soon as it was over, they were like, "Hey, come and join us for refreshments and games and music and stuff like that." And I was like, "Nope, dip out," because I had more work to do for one, and went back up to the armory and did more work. But also I was soaking wet from top to like mid-level. Kept my pants dry. My boots were wet. My top was soaking wet. My PC was soaking wet. But and I was hungry, and the food they had was pizza. And if also you've watched this before or these videos before, can't eat pizza. Well, Can eat pizza, but has consequences. So, anyway, that is 10 minutes. I wish you all a lovely, dreary Monday. For those of you in the Pacific Northwest, it is rainy again. And for those of you elsewhere, hopefully you're having better weather. Uh, anyway, love you all. Take it easy.